On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Backyard.
A whole space behind and belonging to a house.
Examples:
Play in the backyard. Backyard barbecue. He grows vegetables in his backyard.
Nation.
A large organized community of people living in a particular country or region and having a particular culture.
Examples:
Nation-state. A seafaring nation. The nation of Japan is known for its unique culture and advanced technology.
Geography.
A field of science devoted to the study of the lands, features, inhabitants, and phenomena of the earth.
Examples:
Geography class. Economic geography. She did well on her geography exam.
Photograph.
A picture or image that is produced by a camera, a visual representation or record of a person, object, or scene that has been captured electronically or on film.
Examples:
Photograph album. Photograph memories. I found an old photograph of my grandparents from their wedding day.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Compelling.
Arousing strong and irresistible interest, attention, or admiration.
Examples:
Tell a compelling story. New and compelling evidence. His compelling presentation deeply moved everyone.
Pollinate.
To transfer pollen from the male part of a flower to the female part, thereby fertilizing the plant and allowing it to produce fruit or seeds, to spread or disseminate an idea or influence to others.
Examples:
Pollinate plants. Pollinate fruit trees. Without bees to pollinate the flowers, many crops would not exist.
Crop.
A plant that is cultivated in large amounts, particularly for food.
Examples:
Crop field. Crop herbicide. Sow early for an early crop.
Furry.
Covered in fur or a furry material, resembling fur.
Examples:
The furry skin. Have furry leaves. The stuffed animal was so furry and soft that it was hard to resist hugging it.
Creature.
A living being, especially an animal.
Examples:
Creature of habit. Artificial creature. The deep-sea creature was unlike anything the scientists had ever seen before.
Halfway.
In or at a point midway or an equal distance between 2 points.
Examples:
Halfway through my journey. Halfway decent job. The famous restaurant stands halfway up the hill.
Emerge.
To move out of or away from something and become visible.
Examples:
Emerge as a butterfly. Emerge from poverty. During colonial eras, new migratory patterns emerged.
Brood.
To think much and deeply about something that makes one annoyed, anxious, or angry. Noun, a group of young birds or other animals all produced at one hatching or birth.
Examples:
Brood about the defeat. A brood of chickens. The terrible result brooded over her all day long.
Pesticide.
A substance used for preventing, destroying, repelling, or mitigating any pest.
Examples:
Pesticide application. Pesticide residue. The farmer sprayed pesticide on his crops to protect them from insects.
Disease.
A disorder or illness that affects the body or mind, often characterized by specific symptoms or abnormal functioning of organs or systems.
Examples:
Disease prevention. Disease control. The doctor diagnosed him with a rare disease that had no known cure.
Threat.
A strong indication or likelihood of harm, danger, or adverse consequences. An expression of intent to inflict harm or injury on someone or something, often made as a means of coercion or intimidation.
Examples:
Economic threat. Environmental threat. The threat of severe weather prompted the city to issue an evacuation warning.
Parasitic.
Living off another organism to the detriment of the host.
Examples:
Parasitic relationship. Brood parasitic bird. The parasitic plant was able to survive by stealing nutrients from its host.
Destructive.
Causing or able to cause tremendous and irreparable damage.
Examples:
Lead to destructive behavior. A habit destructive to health. It was the most destructive storm in decades.
Crawl.
To move forward slowly, as people or animals with their bodies near the ground.
Examples:
Crawl across the floor. Crawl away from a car. Along the gravel roads, sizable yellow school buses crawl.
Eventually.
Finally, particularly after a long time or a lot of struggle, complications, and so on.
Examples:
Eventually become obsolete. Eventually succeed. The corporation eventually dominated the entire tobacco business.
Destroy.
To ruin or damage severely or completely, to eradicate or eliminate completely.
Examples:
Destroy the ecosystem. Destroyed evidence. The building was destroyed in the fire and had to be rebuilt.
Hive.
A structure for the reception and habitation of bees, either built by people or made by the bees themselves, a place swarming people.
Examples:
Honeybees in hives. A hive of activity. Bees were buzzing around the hive.
Immune.
Protected against a particular disease or toxin due to the presence of specific antibodies or sensitized white blood cells.
Examples:
Immune from criminal prosecution. The cell of the immune system. The vaccination does not necessarily make you completely immune.
Vulnerable.
Capable of being hurt or influenced physically or mentally.
Examples:
A vulnerable bridge. Vulnerable parts of the body. Infants and pregnant women are particularly vulnerable.
Sensitive.
Able to notice slight changes, signals, or influences. Able to feel or perceive others' feelings. Susceptible to the things people say or do.
Examples:
Sensitive documents. Baby with sensitive skin. The teacher is very sensitive to children's feelings.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
Process improvement. Decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Lab.
A workplace for the conduct of scientific research, a laboratory.
Examples:
Lab instrument. Medical lab. The Prime Minister will pay a courtesy visit to the Nobel laureate's lab.
Condense.
To reduce the volume or size of something, often by removing water or other liquid, to make something shorter, more concise, or more concentrated.
Examples:
Condense the text. Condense water vapor. I need to condense all of my notes into a manageable summary for my presentation. Hatch. To cause an egg to break to allow a young animal to come out, to produce and expand something that is in an early stage.
Examples:
Hatch a plan. Hatch a baby chick. The eggs began to hatch, and the small chicks emerged.
Larva.
The immature free-living form of insect or an animal, which at hatching from the egg, is fundamentally unlike its parent and must metamorphose.
Examples:
Larva of a butterfly. A moth larva. The butterfly emerged from its larva stage.
Goo.
A sticky or slimy substance, often of indeterminate or unknown composition, a slang term used to describe something messy, chaotic, or confusing.
Examples:
Boozing goo. Slime goo. The science experiment involved mixing various liquids to create a bubbling goo.
Nurse.
A healthcare professional who is trained to provide care for the sick or injured. Verb, to try to cure by special care or treatment of an illness or injury.
Examples:
Nurse practitioner. A volunteer nurse. The night shift nurse checked my vital signs before administering the medication.
Differentiate.
To recognize or establish as being distinct, to distinguish between things that are compared, to calculate a derivative.
Examples:
Differentiate between fact and fiction. Differentiate a function. The teacher asked the students to differentiate between the two similar species of birds.
Transform.
To change an outward structure or looks.
Examples:
Transform an education system. Transform heat into power. My father's death transformed my life completely.
Pupa.
The intermediate stage in the development of an insect, between the larva and the adult.
Examples:
Pupa stage. Emerge from a pupa. The pupa of the moth was hidden deep inside the cocoon.
Pup.
A young dog, seal, or other animals.
Examples:
Pup company. Playful pup. The little pup was so cute, with big, floppy ears and a wagging tail.
Tissue.
An ensemble of similar cells of the animal or plant that together carry out a specific function.
Examples:
A facial tissue. Loss of muscle tissue. The researcher separated the nervous tissue for microscopic examinations.
Reorganize.
To change to a more sufficient or suitable form of organization.
Examples:
Reorganize a department. Reorganize his debts. The new CEO was appointed to reorganize their business.
Shrivel.
To dry up and shrink or wither due to lack of moisture or nourishment. To become smaller or less significant over time.
Examples:
Shrivel up due to drought. Shrivel in the sun. The grapes shriveled in the heat, making them inedible.
Sprout.
To grow or develop new parts, typically leaves or shoots, from a plant, to emerge, develop, or arise gradually or suddenly.
Examples:
Sprout seeds. Sprout wings. The flowers in the garden began to sprout after the first rain of the season.
Beekeeper.
A person who keeps bees either for their honey or to pollinate crops.
Examples:
Beekeeper hat. Local beekeeper. My neighbor is a professional beekeeper who sells honey at the local farmers market.
Typical.
Having the usual characteristics or traits of a specific group of things.
Examples:
Typical leader. Fairly typical symptoms. This artwork is typical of her work.
Chemical.
Relating to or connected with chemistry.
Examples:
Toxic chemicals. A chemical compound. The firm has grown into a large chemical manufacturing.
Alternative.
One of two or more available possibilities or choice.
Examples:
An alternative plan. There is no other alternative. Doctors are gradually coming around to the idea of using alternative medicines.
Experimental.
Relating to or based on new ideas, forms, methods, etc. that have not been tried before, usually to find out what effect they have.
Examples:
Experimental data. Experimental design. The product is still in the experimental stage.
Breed.
To keep animals for producing offspring in a regulated manner.
Examples:
Breed horses. Breed suspicion. This animal breeds in northern latitudes.
Baton.
A thin stick or rod used as a conductor's wand, a symbol of authority, or a tool for specific sports or activities. A short, straight, light stick that is passed from runner to runner in a relay race.
Examples:
Conducting baton. Twirl the baton. The police officer used his baton to disperse the crowd.
Attendant.
A person who is employed to provide a service or perform tasks, often in a public place, such as a flight attendant, parking attendant, or hospital attendant.
Examples:
Flight attendant. Personal attendant. The attendant at the parking lot directed me to an available parking spot.
Might.
A tiny arachnid-like creature that is related to ticks and spiders and often lives as a parasite on plants or animals.
Examples:
House dust mite. A mite of evidence. The mite infestation in the old house was a serious problem for the residents.
Resistant.
Not affected by something, especially changes or new ideas, of or relating to immunity to disease or infection.
Examples:
Penicillin-resistant bacteria. Resistant to persuasion. Insects in urban areas are becoming resistant to insecticides.
Virgin.
A person who has never had sex, adjective, being used or worked for the first time.
Examples:
Virgin material. Enter virgin territory. Within a few years, no virgin forests will remain.
Sedate.
Calm, tranquil, and composed, often as a result of being under the influence of a sedative or tranquilizer, unhurried, deliberate, and without excessive movement or activity.
Examples:
Sedate atmosphere. Sedate patient. The sedate environment of the library was perfect for studying.
Inseminate.
To introduce semen into a female reproductive tract, to fertilize an egg, to introduce a substance or idea into something.
Examples:
Inseminate cattle. Inseminate a study with new data. The farmer hired a specialist to artificially inseminate his livestock, ensuring healthy and diverse offspring.
Precision.
The quality or condition of being exact and accurate.
Examples:
A precision instrument. Speak with precision. This operation requires both patience and precision.
Instrument.
An object used to make musical sounds, such as a piano, guitar, or drum, a tool or device used for a specific activity, particularly in specialist or scientific work.
Examples:
Musical instruments. Surgical instruments. This electronic instrument is required to undergo periodic inspections to ensure precision.
Procedure.
A way of doing something, especially the official or well-known way.
Examples:
Undergo a surgical procedure. Standard procedure. The pilot and flight attendant ran through the checkout procedure.
Trade-off.
A balance achieved between two desirable but incompatible features, an exchange that occurs as a compromise.
Examples:
Trade-off problem. Environmental trade-off. There was a trade-off between speed and accuracy in the task.
Trait.
A particular feature of your nature.
Examples:
Chemical trait. Personality traits. Multiple genes may influence behavioral traits concurrently.
Gentle.
Having or showing a kindly or tender nature, soft and mild.
Examples.
In a gentle voice. Gentle downward slope. Her gentle manner relaxed everyone there.
Overcome.
To succeed in controlling or dealing with something, such as a problem or difficulty, to defeat or overwhelm someone.
Examples.
Overcome opponents. Overcome all difficulties. He tried to overcome a bad reputation and win the election.
Collaborate.
To work with someone else to produce or achieve something.
Examples.
Collaborate with the police. Collaborate on a press release. She agreed to collaborate with him in creating new artwork.
Commerce.
The activity of buying and selling things, especially on a large scale.
Examples.
Interstate commerce. The local chamber of commerce. This company has invested heavily in internet commerce.
Beehive.
A structure or container where bees live and store their honey.
Examples.
Disturb a beehive. Get rid of a beehive. The beekeeper checked the beehive for any signs of disease.
Integrate.
To combine one thing with another so that they form a whole or work together. To accept equal participation for members of all races and ethnic groups.
Examples.
Integrate into the existing system. Integrate both businesses. He found that it is difficult to integrate socially.
Retain.
To keep or continue to possess or maintain something.
Examples.
Retain information. Retain a lawyer. Computers help people retain specific memories.
Manipulate.
To influence or control something or someone to your advantage, often in an unfair or dishonest way.
Examples.
Manipulate figures. Vulnerable to manipulate. Please tell me how to manipulate this computer.
Exploit.
To make full use of and gain an advantage from resources, opportunities, etc.
Examples.
Exploit a security hole. Exploit a valuable opportunity. We exploit our mining resources to strengthen our national power.
Practically.
Almost or nearly.
Examples.
Practically constant. Practically impossible to find a parking spot. The store is practically empty.
Domesticate.
To take control of animals or plants to provide food, power, or company.
Examples:
Easy to domesticate. Domesticate the plant. We domesticate cows to gain milk and meat.
Origin:
The first existence or beginning of something.
Examples:
Origin of all humankind. A manuscript of uncertain origin. There are various hypotheses concerning the origin of life.
Harvest:
Yields of plants in a single growing season, the period of the year when gathering occurs on a farm.
Examples:
A scanty harvest. Reap a harvest. During harvest, farmers are incredibly busy.
Native:
Connecting with or describing someone's birth country or place of birth, or someone born in a specific country or place.
Examples:
Native to Africa. Native language. The vegetation here is almost wholly native.
Pollinator:
An animal or insect, such as bees, butterflies, birds, etc., that carries pollen from a male part of a flower to a female part of a flower, fertilizing it and allowing it to produce seeds.
Examples:
Pollinator species. Beneficial pollinator. Bees are important pollinators for many crops and plants.
Pollination:
The transfer of pollen from the male reproductive organs of one flower to the female reproductive organs of another flower, resulting in fertilization and the production of seeds.
Examples:
Pollination by insect. The cross-pollination of the arts. The pollination process is crucial for the growth and reproduction of many plants.
Agriculture:
The practice or science of cultivating the land or raising stock.
Examples:
Organic agriculture. Intensive agriculture. Agriculture is the foundation of our economy.
Integral:
Necessary to make a whole complete, essential, or fundamental, combining with something else to form a whole. Noun, of mathematics, a fundamental concept in calculus that represents the area under a curve between 2 points on a graph.
Examples:
Integral function. Integral component. Effective communication is an integral part of any successful team.
Interpretation:
An explanation or opinion of something, especially that is not immediately obvious.
Examples:
The interpretation of history. Open to interpretation. His interpretations of literary works are often unique.
Relation:
The way two persons or groups of people feel and act toward one another.
Examples:
Relation between cause and effect. Relation of inclusion. The industrial relations laws were passed with little to no alteration.
Biology.
The scientific study of life and the natural processes of living things.
Examples:
Evolutionary biology, cell and molecular biology. In junior high school, we had to dissect a frog in biology class.
Stressor.
Something that causes stress or emotional tension.
Examples:
Stressor event, stressor management. The deadline for the project was a major stressor for the team.